One of the viewers, I think his name was Bill, he mentioned about a snap ring. I can see the snap ring, but I can't get at it without maybe damaging this thing. This light actually is for my macro lens. I'll stick it on my macro lens and I'll see if I can show you nice and close, you know, what I'm talking about. First time I saw this, I thought, oh, it's a brushed motor. It's only got 2 leads going into it. And then I thought, oh, maybe it's got a microcircuit. And it does. It's got a little circuitry going on that turns it into a brushless DC motor. So there's no brushes in this motor. However, putting a little drop of oil on the top of that snap ring, I don't know if it's going to be able to work its way around. Like let's assume that this is the shaft coming up from the fan. Fan spins like this. Okay, there's a snap ring like this. The bearing is actually down here. And if I put the drop of oil on the top of the snap ring, I don't know if it's going to be able to get its way around into the bearing, if you know what I mean, without saturating everything. Which probably wouldn't be a bad thing, but you know. And I don't think there's any way that I can, by taking this end off, you know, that I'm going to be able, this label off, that I'm going to be able to do anything from this side. It's just not made that way. I've got to be able to take that snap ring off. I think the snap ring, when they designed it, they never expected this motor to be ever taken apart. So they made it so it's easy to snap together, but not snap apart. Anyway, let's stick this on the macro lens and give you a little look at.
And now I've been getting a lot of comments from people suggesting that I just go out and buy one. Well, they're missing the point. I don't want to buy one if I don't have to. I want to try and fix this myself. It's not that I can't afford one. I could easily just order one online, probably have it delivered here for $10 or $20, and it would be the exact one. However, well, and then also I could go to a computer repair store and I could buy something. You know, there's all kinds of different ways that I can do this, but I want to see if I can just get this thing lubricated and fix it myself. I'm having the fun of fixing it myself. It would be kind of like when I turn pens. I go to the dollar store and I could buy probably a dozen cheap ballpoint pens, you know, for $1. But that's not the point. I like to turn pens. I like to do it myself.
I think I put too much on. See if I can sort of work it down by lifting up and down on the impeller here.
Now you'll notice there's bubbles coming to the surface there. Well, that means that the oil is making its way underneath the split washer, and the air is being displaced by the oil, so it may actually end up where it's supposed to be.
Now I've wiped the oil off of this and then wiped it again with rubbing alcohol so that there's no oil on the plastic. And that way it's going to just sort of help to make this little sticker stick. We'll try and get it on the same way that it was before. It was something like this. Oh my, I don't know if it's going to stick. Well, we'll give that a try. See if it has a tendency to slowly peel itself off. Notice it's 12 volts. I thought the small one was 5 volts and the bigger one was 12, but maybe I got it wrong. Maybe it was the other way around. Anyway,
I did go online. I measured this. This is 40 millimeter. And it would be quite easy to actually replace this. You can order them from well, lots of places. And the problem is you can get them for like as little as $2 or $3. But here in Canada, the added postage, it makes it kind of expensive. But as I said earlier, that's not the point. I want to do this myself. Have the fun of doing it myself. Anyway, I think this is going to work out okay. Now, doing this actually went better than I thought it was going to. Well, I guess the next thing is to try and plug this back in. That shouldn't be too hard. Maybe. Now this should just sort of snap on there. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. I'm sure that that's making contact. And I'm very sure that this is going to work. It's going to be hard to test out though. I don't have a proper load to put on it. I need like 24 volts. I know I could, hook a couple of 12-volt light bulbs in a series, and that would give me, I could put 24 volts on that and not worry about burning it out. But it's possible that this circuitry requires some sort of feedback, like say, maybe 10, 12, 14 volts to start with. Otherwise it doesn't want to work. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to bother. When I get it back in Kelowna, then we'll know for sure. And here's the last one. And the last one isn't wanting to go. Alright, what's wrong here? Use this one, it'll hold it a little straighter. Yeah, there we go. And we'll tighten with this one. Okay, it's done. Now, clean up this mess. And then, how many of you remember this? This is the wood that was cut by the lesser Okanagan saw-billed woodpecker. Okay, so I'm kind of anxious to see how this is going to go and what it looks like. I think it possibly where some of these knots are, it might be kind of interesting. Might actually get at that today yet. Yeah, in the meantime, thanks for watching.